Indeed, a very interesting moment there as Halifa Saleh arrives at the IEC to submit his nomination papers. And of course, it looks like he also had a good number of his party supporters also there to accompany him for the nominations.
Okay, that's interesting. One could say he has a good number of party supporters with him. That's right, and it's a factual. And this is not something new, as we've seen from previous candidates. When coming, they come with their party supporters. So he has also come along with some of his party supporters, and they are all energetic and chanting the slogan "System Change," which the party of Pdois is very concerned about, and the party leader himself in particular is one person who emphasizes the importance of a system change in parliament, in their rallies, and in any other gathering which he happens to be, because he believes system change is the only thing that can take this country forward.
Well, absolutely. For the past 4 years, or in fact, should I say before that, Halifa Saleh has been, of course, so much, speaking to the Gambia in that line, emphasize the ecosystem change. Like he just mentioned, he believes there is the only drive that can change the narratives in this country. We can change leadership, but if the system of governance is not changed, nothing fruitful probably could happen in terms of what Gambians are yearning for this country. And yes, there he goes now. He has arrived at the IEC desk. Thank you so very much, Usman. And I know we would get you back on the line later on after his encounter with the press, so we can digest or better discuss some of the things he's going to tell the media and the Gambian people. So Halifa Saleh and his executive members and some of the supporters are now they are seated right before the officials of the Independent Electoral Commission, and any moment from now we will link you up to the desk of the IEC officials so we can watch and listen his nomination process and proceedings as it happens at the IEC. So this is the situation as we speak, and you can see on your screens there the people are trying to be seated, and so the nomination process can start as others have done before Halifa. So the IEC officials are giving direction as to where his people are going to sit. So interesting moment there at the IEC. The second person to arrive for the nomination today is Halifa Saleh of the Pdois party, or the Doi party if you like, and yes, they are trying to settle themselves so the nomination can start. Sidi Ajata sitting alongside Halifa, and I think Usman Silla, also another some of the party officials. So let's now join the IEC desk for the usual nomination proceedings. So we'll listen now.
Welcome, and would like to receive the documents you bring to continue for the nomination to contest the December 4th presidential election. Can we see what you've got?
So we can start the first. Well, the voter's card is meant for the confirmation of citizenship, even though it's not in the list. Well, the voter's card is meant for the confirmation of citizenship, even though it's not in the list. Photocopies of them. Assets declaration. Photocopies. Is the deposit. And the receipts. Is the deposit. As income tax clearance, then you give me in the photocopies. Yes, the deposit slip. This shows the deposit. Letter from the party. We have the photograph. We have the symbol. And we have the party code. And that is the manifesto. Well, these are the latecomers, so there's no editing in the actual count. What is in the file is adequate. The last two files are just additional from latecomers. Additional from latecomers.
Please come, go back. The voter's card.
Yes.
Keep that.
This one.
Okay, the nomination declaration. Declaration.
Yes, it's there. Nomination declaration. Yes, it's there. It's there. It's there. No, it's there. No, it's in the file. Just to date it. Yes, the date. I've signed it.
We have seen Khalifa Babukar Salah.
Yes.
That's the name we are taking.
Yes.
Okay, from now on, Khalifa Babukar Salah in our record.
Indeed.
Babukar Salah in our records.
Indeed.
Okay, thank you. It doesn't work. Code of campaign ethics, not campaign program, not submitted.
Campaign program is missing. The campaign program.
Yes.
The campaign program
Yes.
is not here. Yeah. You can prepare it and bring it to us by Friday, 4 o'clock. Okay?
So, Chair, is that because in the past, it used to be reconciliation, but you want us to prepare our program now and send
Yeah.
in advance.
I'm saying it's desirable because when we go to campaign reconciliation, we want force in for the first meeting.
Okay, no, problem. No problem.
Chairman, I have to go and change this to Khalifa Babukar Salah.
Okay. Every 40 minutes, we have to change this to Khalifa Babukar Salah,
Yes,
not to Khalifa Salah.
yes.
So we want to officialize that with Khalifa Babukar Salah.
Indeed.
Khalifa Salah.
Just a minute.
Indeed.
Just 2 minutes.
Mic test, mic test. From wherever you are listening to, from wherever you may be listening to us, you're watching iAfrica TV, bringing you all the latest details about the 2021 presidential election nominations happening live from the IEC premises here in Cardiff East Layout. It is the party leader of the People's Democratic Organization for Independence and Socialism, Pdois, conducting his nomination there with the IEC nomination team. And anytime from now, we would see the IEC leadership addressing the Pdois leader about his nomination submitted just recently. We've heard from the IEC chairman addressing the leader of Pdois that he has to come with his campaign programs here against Friday, and equally as well. And equally as well, he has to make changes. He recommended to the IEC that they should make changes on his name, which instead of presenting him as Khalifa Saleh, they should present him as Khalifa Abubakar Saleh, which is reflected on his documents. So that's the live scene coming to you live from the IEC headquarters in Cardiff East. And it's all about the 2021 presidential nominations. And today is day 5. And we're only left with 2 days to go here against Friday. We'll be done with the nominations. And on Saturday, all candidates who filed in their nominations will know their fate. They would know if they have been nominated or not. So that is the current situation. And the next candidate on the line to come is the leader of the Gambia Action Party, Musa Yali Bachili. He is expected to join the nomination team 1 hour after the departure of the Pdois leader, Khalifa Saleh, who is also expected to have a short press conference with the media anytime from now when he's done with his nomination process with the IEC team.
Well, Honorable Salah, I am honored to present you receipt for the documents submitted today for consideration to contest the December 4th election. The missing ones you can bring before Friday 4 o'clock. Thereafter, they will be subject to a public scrutiny on Saturday. After that, we'll let you know the status of your application.
Chair,
God bless
I'm
and
just
thank you very
asking,
much.
is the missing one based on law or desired? That's why I'm asking the question.
Mr. Chairman, I think it's desirable. It's not missing, it's desirable to have the campaign itinerary in place so that we can start the procedure.
No, I understand. That no document is missing according to law. It's what is just desirable. Thank you very much. So I think that is okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
People's Democratic Organization for Independence and Feminism receiving his letter of submission from the IEC, and shortly from now he is expected to start a press conference with the media. Modou Niang lii nag mu nekk bés bu am solo ñi gis ne tey mooy day 5 of the nomination te gis nañ ne kii di Halifa Sallah fu mu nekk nii mu ngi war a taxaw pour waxtaan ak taskati xibaar yi.
waaw jaata noonu la Halifa ngi noonu xam naa ne fi si dina daal di jàkkaarloo ak ñi nga xam ne ñooy taskati xibaar yi.
To make the last attempt to march to the citadel of power. In 2016, on the 20th of January, I warned the then outgoing president that the incoming president was no longer an incoming president, had assumed power on the 19th of January. And 20th January was becoming too late. That Gambians must not march to the citadel of power wading on a pool of blood.
Honorable Sallah, let's talk about 2021 election. What will you do?
Precisely, we are here today because we did not march to the citadel of power wading in a pool of blood. We are now here to seek your mandate in order to reach there. 72% of the population being young. This is my last attempt. I am going to be leaving you here. I have done my part. At the age of 16 and a half, I made a commitment that all my life I will live to eradicate the poverty of my people, not only the Gambian people, but the whole African people. The question is, what are we going to do in 2021? That's why we talk about system change. Go to your villages. No electricity, no water supply, women with callous hands, producing vegetables and cannot find markets for them. They live in poverty, grow in poverty, age in poverty, and die in poverty. That is what we wish to end. How? By using your wealth. 23 billion is your budget this coming year. The ocean is here. Others are exploiting it. You have a navy which could have been transformed into a productive force to have fishing trawlers, to feed your population, to export, earn more, put it in sovereign national wealth, invest it in these young people from GTTI so that they'll be able to have milling machine, they'll be able to have seed money to organize workshops, or any form of business they think would be needed by the population. That's what we are talking about.
Can we ask questions?
Yes, go ahead.
Please, we have observed you are here with the APP leader.
And just yesterday, he was also...
That is an issue for the APP leader. Ask him afterwards. That is not my concern. I am here with very honorable people. I don't know why they're here other than to show solidarity.
Okay, when will we be able to finally get your manifesto?
The manifesto is already given to the IEC. In these coming days, I'll be rolling it out. Anybody who would wish to have a copy will also have to give us something so that we will be able to continue to produce it. I will roll it. We will roll it out. We will roll it out. We'll roll it out. And we'll be inviting you to come and appear. Yes. 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 I don't know what you mean. Parties can only be in government to be able to use national wealth. If any party, no, wait. If anybody tells you, today, if you sit down and somebody comes to you and you give him $100 and 10 people come, that's $1,000. If 100 people, that is $10,000 a day, and for $300,000 just to give $100 to 100 people. Which politician is actually doing that? Who can afford that? There is deception. No pocket can eradicate the poverty of your people. Anybody who tells you that is an ignorant person. It is the wealth of the nation, the budget. We are saying, but who are we to impose ourselves on the people? I think that is the joy. 1994, there was a coup d'etat. We were invited to become ministers. We could have gone there, but that's not the way. So for us, we are waiting for you. You are the way. Entrust us with power, and we will deliver what you want. If you don't entrust us in power, don't demand us to deliver anything for you. It's not our prerogative. Yes. Yes. The priority agenda is very clear. That we, at the central bank, we are going to maintain a sovereign wealth fund that will be able to give fertilizer, seed farming implement to the farming community, just like women have their osusu. They put money, collect it, and give it to one. We're saying that the nation is a national osusu. Let us make sure that at the central bank, we have a branch there that will have what you call cooperative bank, that will be able to give that fertilizer, seed farming implement. They will pay it back without interest. That's what we are saying. And the women who are in their vegetable gardens can do the same. Women who wish to engage in business can do the same. Those who wish to engage in processing can do the same. Let's use the national wealth to eradicate the poverty of our people. This is what we are saying. Go to any village today. You will not find a single village with a village treasury. That's why your villages are poor. Can you tell me which government in this Gambia had ever thought about what to do with those villages? We are saying the village fund that comes from what they are paying in terms of rates should not go to the area council. The license of the village should not go to area council. It should go into the village treasury. And the VDC will be able to sit annually and say, we want to electrify the village with solar, we want to build the roads, we want to provide the women with garden fences and water, and then they will know that that's their project. If they can afford to do so through their treasury, they will do so. If they cannot, then this is what we call equalization grants that must come from our state coffers, 23 billion. You must see what each region should have. And that money will go to the region and the district, so that if a village wants development and does not have the resources, the district will come and give them the subsidy needed, or the region will come and give them the subsidy needed. This is what we're talking about. That's how you can eradicate the poverty in your villages. No other party, some are already in local government, some have been ministers before. We are saying that no other party has ever articulated how to end rural poverty, but we have.
In the past, most significantly in 2016, Gambians want to know, are you keen on taking part in any other alliance? Of course, you had said you will not go to an alliance that does not encourage system change. But people are wondering, how can you achieve system change without first concentrating on regime change? Because it has to be Halifa Sallah instead, has not Adama Barrow, for you to be able to implement all these ideas you are telling us? Don't you think regime change should be first achieved before you can change system?
First and foremost,
I want to hear from you. What do you mean exactly by it?
First and foremost, we need a pluralistic society. And therefore, parties must be here. They must put their programs before the people. And when they put their programs before the people, when you elect them, that is precisely what they should deliver. If they fail to do so, then they have betrayed the aspirations of the people. Coalition does not give birth to the program of a single party. So you do it as a tactical objective. And you should not expect that the program of your party must be implemented. So what we are saying, that at this particular stage of Halifa Salah's life, after ensuring that we had the change 2016, what are we waiting for again? 2016 is because your country had never changed through the ballot box, and people did not have faith in the electoral system. We put that faith in them when they effected the change in 2016. The Gambian people are liberated. Now they own themselves. Now they have a voice. Now they have power. Before they were voiceless and powerless, hopeless and helpless. Now they are hopeless and helpless, but they have voice and power. That's what we achieved in 2016. All of us are liberated. Whatever we do again is our own will and nothing else. That's why government is by consent. We are saying we have not seen any program to eradicate the poverty in those villages. You have VDCs without village treasury. How will they bring about development? A home without fish money. How will that home stand? That's why your villages are collapsing. We are telling you over and over again, you refuse to listen. Some refuse to listen. Some will even distort the message. You'll hear even talking about Soviet Union and China when we have a Republican constitution. Who on earth dare ever take power here and say that that person will not govern according to the constitution of the Gambia? People who have no ideas of how government run and ideologies that are put in them by those who want to distract the African continent have been detractors of our development. And that is what has misled our young people. They are not asking the right questions, therefore they are not getting the right answers. That is not going to happen again. I have reached the pinnacle of my participation in your political process. I am going to be honest, I'm going to be direct, and I'm going to help you to know that this is the final battle of ideas, final battle of program.
Thank you, Mr. Salah. Thank you, Mr. Salah. You'll be for an interview outside.
I'm told that the time is up.
For an interview outside.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable.
That was Halifa Sallah, the leader of the Pdois party there, speaking to the journalists shortly after presenting his nomination papers to the Independent Electoral Commission officials, like we have seen others did before. And we should be going live now back to the IEC and talk to our reporter Usman Jata, who has been keenly monitoring and listening to what Halifa Sallah was telling the media. And Usman, thank you very much for joining us. You were listening to Halifa Sallah. Tell us about something what he said and what is the situation like on the ground?
Thank you very much, Amadou. The situation right now is very interesting. The situation is motivating. It's inspirational, as the party leader of the People's Democratic Organization for Independence and Socialism, Halifa Sallah, has already begun another race and another battle. As he says, the battle has begun. This is going to be his final battle, as he rightly mentioned. He said equally as well, he is going to make sure that he fights poverty in the Gambia, because according to Mr. Sallah, he has not seen any programs presented by the current government to see that poverty is something that is eradicated at rural level. Poverty is something which could be eradicated in Gambia, and according to the Pdois leader, his government is going to be the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And he is going to make sure that village development committees will use their own money to develop their villages, and equally as well, they would receive a subvention from the government for coming up with such actions. So it's going to be very interesting, and this is just one tip of what the Pdois leader has already laid before the press.
Well, indeed, Halifa Saleh is one of the longest-serving politicians in the Gambia's political history, and it appears he says this is his last attempt. How did you make of that, and how is the reaction of the people on the ground with that, with his statement?
Indeed, interesting. As rightly said, he said this is going to be, he has reached the pinnacle of his political fight, and as rightly mentioned, this is going to be his last fight, last battle in politics, in Gambian politics, and he is calling on the Gambian people to give him all the necessary support. He is leaving the ball in their court to make that decision of either to fail or to continue to promote development in the Gambia, to see that we achieve that Gambia that most Gambians are calling for, that new Gambia that has always been on the tongues of Gambians. So it's the last minute, and he is still calling on Gambians to come and support him come December 5th, so that this country can be taken to the next level.
All right, and Halifa Saleh also talked about the state of the country, and of course he said, I mean, the system change, which is the slogan of the party going into this election, is that the system have to change, because some Gambians are born, live and die in poverty, and according to him, that have to change. What a message that is.
Indeed, interesting, Amadou. This is what Halifa Saleh is projecting. He wants to change the system. System change is his a slogan. System change, because he believes Gambians have reached a stage where they should go to another level, and they should graduate from this current level, and with his system, he believes the Gambia can achieve this, because you have to understand that Khalifa's system is based on socialism, and socialism has to do with equal distribution of resources in the state, and this is one system that some political experts believe if the Gambia happens to adopt it, it will promote development in the Gambia. With capitalism, which is the current system that is being practiced in the Gambia, fine, it encourages development, but equally as well, it promotes a corruption at some point. You would realize that there is always a gap between the rich and the poor, between the proletarians and the bourgeoisies. The poor continue to become poor, and the rich people continue to become rich. This is the gap that Khalifa wants to close, and this is what he is communicating to Gambians. That is why he is saying that this is going to be his last battle, and he has sacrificed all his time in politics just to make sure that the Gambians have what is called development, just to see Gambians have what is called a peace of mind by having economic security, which is very important, Amadou.
Indeed, Usman, and for far too long, Halifa Saleh has been calling for system change, and yet again he has reiterated that position, and he has called Gambians to entrust him or them the power to bring the change Gambians are yearning for. But judging on what we have seen, with what happened since on Saturday, some of the other parties, the amount of people that are following them, compared to what we have seen with Halifa Saleh, does it appear that the Gambians are listening or are heading to Halifa Saleh's message?
It's interesting, actually, Amadou. And from one point, one could say, I will quote from the leader of GMC, my party, who says, this election is not about the number of crowds you quote. At some point, he may be right. You have to understand one thing. Khalifa's messages are already live, and Gambians are listening to it. So the turnout today, one could say the turnout is not as compared to the previous parties that came for their nomination. But to be candid enough, he has sent a clear message. He has already exploded a bomb. So now he has left the ball in the courts of the Gambians for the Gambians to decide come December 5th to see whether they are going to go through the same challenges, or they will make sure that they will vote for the right person to see to it that their challenges come to an end. As you know, currently in the Gambia, we're experiencing a shortage of gas, oil, and equally as well, the price of basic food prices are already high. So life is not as usual as it used to be in the past 10 years, in the past 15 years. So this is what Khalifa is saying. The system has to be changed. This corruption has to come to an end, and people have to start enjoying economic security to see that they have a peaceful mind.
All right. Usman Jata, thank you very much for that brief, of course, great explanation of what some of the things Khalifa Saleh have said. And of course, as we speak, him and his supporters are about to leave the IEC grounds. And I know next scheduled to arrive is the Gambia Action Party. Well, what is the ambience like? If you can tell us, of course, it looks like, you know, Pdois are not known for that, you know, fanfare and ambience, but it looks like this year the approach have changed. We have seen a good number of people also coming with the party, I mean, leaders to submit the nomination of their candidates, and there are some bit of fanfare on the ground, I want to believe.
That's a fact, Amadou. With regards to, or with reference to the current situation of the Gambia, most Gambians are fed up and they believe Khalifa Saleh is the solution to the country's crisis, one could say. And that is why you could see that he has come with a large ambience, and they are all accompanying him, more especially when he made the speech to the media that he is going to transform the Gambia, and this is his last battle. So leaving the choice in the hands of Gambians to decide on that. So this is a message, and I believe as Gambians, as patriotic citizens, they should all give it a second chance. Let them think about this, because the 2021 presidential election is about them. You know, it's about their power. They are the electorate. They have the discretion. They have the power to effect change, to choose a new leader, a leader who would be in their favor, a leader who would promote their interests. And I think it is high time that Gambians put this into their minds.
All right. Usman Jata, thank you very much once again. And of course, we'll hope to come back to you later on when the GAP party arrived, and so we can also see what they are going to come with. But for now, thank you very much for your time. We hope to link up to Modu Mohamed Nyang and of course Nene Bojang, who are also on the ground. So Binta, we heard from Khalifa Saleh, what a message. Yeah, so in fact, I think you just tell us a bit about him before we get Monyang on the line. But he said this is his last attempt. It's now up to the Gambians to decide as to whether they would entrust him the leadership or otherwise.
Sad indeed that I'm hearing it's the last attempt.
Yeah,
but just a brief background of Khalifa Saleh in case you don't know him, or in case you have some details that you need to know. Khalifa Saleh was born in 1953, is a Gambian politician who is currently a member of the National Assembly representing Serekunda and the Secretary General of the People's Democratic Organization for Independence and Socialism, that is Pdois, of course. He served as a spokesman and advisor to the president, that is President Adama Barrow, from during the 2016 presidential election campaign until March 2017. Saleh, co-founder of Pdois in 1986, and was elected as the Secretary General in 1987. He has been a major contributor to Foria, that is the newspaper, and the party's newspaper rather. He contested election for the House of Representatives in 1987 and 1992. And he was an opposer of the former regime, that is Yahya Jammeh, and he stood unsuccessfully for the National Assembly in 1997. but was elected in 2002 as majority leader. Sallah has also served in the Pan-African Parliament and was the National Alliance for Democratic and Development, that is not candidate for president in 2006 presidential election here in the Gambia. They came out 6% of the vote, and that is the third position of that year. That is just a summary.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting about Halifa there, as you just explained. So we should be, let's go back, of course, to the IEC and speak to Nene Bojang. He's on the line. Binta, you can speak to him now so he can update what is happening as we speak.
Nene mbenu barala albelo rentilo koto bari mbafala ko bitundo ko ni wala tata nyola bari na moyle Halifa Sallah min fo andung ay kuma jamal le fo nyindulanto malon fay sa fo mole na badi mandin ko min yalon ko be la moy kan Halifa fo message juma ay wala to Gambia no le after ala submission of the IEC.
Baraka bake, thank you very much Binta Jallo ani Amadou Atel studio kono e do ko ay wonni ninka tumomina honorable Halifa Sallah miyan ko rekara Pdois la nyaton koti afana kata mote miyan ko ay simpalta ka tandi ko ay sulo soto pour ka Gambe banko muta ka samba tembe da doto kantung Halifa bengal no ko Halifa politicien balti birin telma wulu Halifa ba politicien yakono ay banko nyene kan butung anen ay dala jama balle city bar ko min ning alama min harde ke dala ninto butung wobika mabeno ko kono bar wo kamala Binta bi birin si Pdois la nyadon ko nata mingeda honorable Halifa Sallah ti ay mintandi ay sida wolon ndiko alen kumandi nataram bulolla anda fele nini nata nan bar ay si fana kanata ndi molla ko enin ba ko fa nata ndel sura minna ngolte bulo kono buton ni golle ba sabula kon setande no Gambe mola katande ko ngaji ko sote def nata ko isa banko nyini non loni baro tema anata tande AIC la ko ko tumando ala carte ala bukol bala wala foroto nyinin karo la fanala mi yalan ko akata tola fanna fanala mi anko wolon kuti mi anko kafa ko Halifa Sallah ako bar kaytol bala min keta ikafo me ko Abubakar Sallah ako bala fala pour ya ko mandi wal so wo bolen ko laje Binta anata min fanata ndi wolon nen ko tumomina ala kaytol be di wolon nen ko AIC ya simpata ndala katande ko butun keno fele fengo fentita koma wolbe nanta tara janni ba fala ko on Friday min kala dental nanti o ba kala fendete mi yaron ko o politicianol belti momo nata nan ila fengo fentita koma nan yento wo mutala ya sambana janni ba fala ko arjuma lungo talan nani aboda je anin joni so nyini garen jabiro so wolo ne ko atandi ko atem molti mi an ko lon kam min wolon Gambe no ka falon ka Gambia falin nyon tango birin lum folo bi yalan ko aya kango di banko la ka atandi ko e jiko so tate ko atesen banko falin wala odo han bi ay min tani Gambe no wolo ni ko juma bala bay banko kam yalan ko anita ka falin bar Halifa la mol kam min fo wolo ni ko falindiro abetama atariyare anyima ay dankeneya ay beteya a ñama koye téléphone social min womo Halifa dammalti bari wala ka fole ko système change Halifa nata banque katandi ko nin temmenna jiyo keta problème woti kurangol kata domorol fannala a kol be fenete mi yalon ko wol be mantere e ñama bari nada man sakunda sita abu wol be kalam ako fuari a woketa kule de mi yalon ko ay sulo dum bakele Gambe banko kan bari pour ko wol be mdaka bay bir bawo Gambia wol be lellendi banko dol bar prukol be bay adem mansalte miyalo nasita mansa sirankan wate molti miyalo ko na e jangambe jiko min sutala abo jiko ma falala abol be tala be senendal ko Gambe no kalma ala kalama bakara kam min folon system change bare Halifa ba mari Gambe no fana ko ninno mala wati labonti dina mala signal labonti pour ka nindiro ke bankola pour Gambe na to Gambe no bulo kon ni lapto falindiro ka falindiro min fo birin sanji jama ko monto kake pour ay sembenti a ñama ka seneni ka banko bondi fanna dola ka samba fanna dola wodo Gambe ni ndeka quartier di atella e ka fole ko system change Halifa tandi ko ala crowd ni miyan ko mol miyan ko blata noma ko mi yenda si ala wotile bare mune kata ko min fo mi yalon ko fa jila ma fangol miyan ko le ka dum to kono wo kada fenete mi yalon ko wo mankitale wala ya sabu mojima ba mannano bare min kum mayata wolon ninti ko kaytol min kata IC wolle kuma bata pour que ifenan IECA nominate
nene abarka namoyla ko ñinem ala last attempt ite mune in summary yamune mira ñing ye anyanta wala kala banko la because ñimu molti mi yalan ko ay contribution jamal leke ñim banko kan pour na democracy soto so na ko sign nem ñinde be kala labangoti pour ka attempt pour ka ke president ma mira ko ñimu kulti mi yalan ko ala supporta sol abe iniyo ko yala bake
binta wod la ko mata bakale kanto nimmo simple mi yalan ko khalifa wole banko ñi dun nale bele mame ko bina dunya kono khalifa wol ba banko ñi kam khalifa salam medale amol kono mi yalan ko yeda dum banko ñi kono beren lum fol lumina gambe ponso non sa fondo wonyama hana tarno mone be kering bari ay min fo wolon nindi ko nimmala simpa labongol te pour ka banko ñin ntela miro do khalifa natar ko min non simpa nya polo simpa lawti ka banko ñin woto ayenta mole fela na mi yalon ko ata ni molla ko nte de mbitala de bari na pati mbatula ne bulo kon andu mbela pati mbatula ne bulo kon batu mondo ngalon manni kol kam fo folo bi ko wulu jama kono batu mondo penta ngamira faso fona sotno la katandi ko nin tafna jikten la katandi ko en sira so kono den nsim fa mi yalon ko ngatu na palaso do ngana palaso mentuje den ni sino na sirangan pour nkam min bay mi yalon ko wala kara corruption oti anin kurante an jita ya anin kolya mi yalon ko khalifa ya kala mala diamol kono e tumando ni ne kala moti min bol bayla ngamira supporta sol natar no e dunyo min soro khalifa den isa bulano ni mo kelen fana normal mi an ko khalifa ba fenden lal batumando binta mamira wuto jam fala because 2021 nam maybe 2026 gamme ne ka mburum pulo to ko danke pour ka nyo sabbo ke banko nyin lo ko rek
Imamira saying abe daming a batatale and also a full straight tale because I effort jamale ke pour ka system change kaje nyimbanko yo so saying a batatale abe damin tentin because system change mu kultimi yalon ko ameta kelala le kabirin 2016 biringa nata he was just talking about system change but hanisa maje andung nying election o kana futa nyamin tenting ko nyinen ala last attempt Imamira ko saying abe daming a batatale
binta nimu fennete mi yalon ko ita ka sel wala tay ku bambalta keren duniya kono tumo mina hadaba dum fo ambika tu duniya kono e butu won fennete mi yalon ko fem bika tu anoto fengo fe yalon ko aka kotole fengo fe yalon ko dalunne bala fengo fe yalon ko ballunne fana bala e wo kumayata bakale pour yaaje ko ni tara fe fra stage jodo ni hakkilo ya di walla luwale bambu katande ko ni sanjo futa den temmodo walle fon e fon la kebaji be katande ko biti lon te manyana tara ninto bar ise kan fa no jele e binda ko mata bakale pour yata de gambe non la ko ninno del signal la bongoti hana tan nga manke signal la bongoti politiko kono bar pour yetambi jama nyaato ko min jama e bambu katandi mollo kon semben telefona sembere ni la binta ngamira ni mu fenete mi yalon ko la ko mata bakale bar mimu pour pati kana fa pati kana lamfu pati kana yoyo par pati bara bambanding khalifa inta mole felana mi yalon ko o fana sate fana ko ma senenole komi gambe no be jikere nga nyami ada fana jiko la ma fana
nene moja ma jandimbe dunna sarakule kankono najele moja ma ba fo kan naketa ay ala nying trend min use wala nyinti ko comme system change anim mi yalon ko ilafta banko nyin sambala wala nyama amang work anyantala step soul change nale ite la miraro to yamira nyimo kulti mi yalon ko halifa nyanta bola abenun daming ay ta comme gambia politico min lo wala nyinti ko dirano ka domorol ke ka ta dongol la ka kuwol ke and yamira nyimo kulti mi yalon ka nyanta change
binta wodula fana jabir bo fanala tumo min nyen karo nata ni wala ninti ko khalifa la simpa momo ni tarambulolom pati o pati ni tarambulolom khalifa la pati afita min kono nga fa kuyufta min kono fa bambanta kono menta kono ay surol falinga kono ay bulol ka kono afirta kono adinta kono aka min tandi wolon nindi ko system change khalifa ni wolna but system o ka change dol fana ka fako government change but system is not change so bare khalifa atika min tandi mo wolen niko ala system o change wolen niko corruption o wala number 1 ti because mi ngajal nun dan watta mi dan nun dan tumo mina president barona da sembola ay motol dile bare khalifa ka manta o motol tala aka manta moto tala e nyinin karke mtem man jabir jala fannala wala motol buda fanna minna bare ka min fole ko man sa dol meta nyane man moto di ne moto di kana bale khalifa nala mol balanta wala man som moto tala bare waya sabu jama ba ko den natano moto bota fanna do la mi yalan ko anim banko la sartul manta woto anim banko la fanko manta wota mambo banko la marlo la fannala woto amman jari pour khalifa moto ta wala khalifa molti mi yalan ko corruption ko adata o kon molla bankero
ok nene me bulala dorong ye nying fo mole mbadin sarahulel min yalon ko be la moy kam
assalamu alaikum maron sarahullu oda ko nangiri Africa TV dingira kebe ona no be no nya ko seda kake ka gore kebe ku nya malante na ko sere jamane kam gati da IEC lenki sere hana kebe gadi kenya ni ganu padi gore kay padi kebe kenya sigintenna ken sigintenna ko ama kenya ni Sheikh Tijan Haidara akari adi kaytunun li ada higa be ko